Put it in it. Welcome to another episode of the People's Mic. I am Jimmy Peoples. Yeah, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Never.
Not leaving out.
That's how we just started.
It's very cozy here.
I gotta think it was still of that plug. What's going on?
What's going on?
You made it. Don't walk in front. Yep. Have a seat. This is the podcast before the mic. How are you? They always just come in. They just come in and then they're like, is this open mic? Is this hi? Welcome to another episode of the People's Mic. I'm Jimmy Peoples. Welcome. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Bobbi Sheehan.
Bobbi, mother. How do you spell your name? B-O-B-B-Y or B-O-B-B-I?
Y. I or I-E is feminine, I think.
Just go B-O-B-B-I.
That's the feminine spelling of Bobbi.
Huh?
That's a woman's name.
Yeah.
So if I spell my name J-I-M-M-I.
Well,
exactly. It is what you make it. It's the cooler one. Bobbi is. It fits you, I think. We're changing a lot of things about you today.
Well, folks, you've heard it here first.
B-O-B-B-I. What else makes the I sound? B-O-B-B-I-X? Bobbi?
I
Bobbix?
think that might make people think I'm a Latino.
A Bobbix?
Yeah.
Bobbix Sheehan?
I think
no,
so.
Sheehan brings you back to white.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as we go back to white, I'm good.
Bobbi Sheehan.
I'm not wearing a suit for this, though. I feel like I have to say that.
I feel like you dressed up for the mic, for this podcast.
Yes, I did.
You did. Just say you did.
It had nothing to do with the job interview before this.
No. Don't tell them that.
Do I look at you or do I look at the people?
You look at both because we got audio, we got sound. Just act like there's 1,000 people out there.
Yeah.
It's only one person. One person only watches this, and it's actually Barack Obama. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Barack Obama watches this podcast.
That's what he does.
That's all I need. Yeah. He hit me up the other day. He said, "Hey Jimmy, I like your podcast. Keep doing your thing."
That was a great impression.
Was it? Did you feel it?
Yeah, you got it. You're perfect. I didn't know you did impressions.
No, I don't. I'll never happen. That's like hitting a bank shot, like a shot that you didn't mean to make, and then it'll never happen again. Like if I was in front of a 250 an audience, I could never do that. See, I felt it. It felt good.
I can't. Any accent I try to do, it starts out okay, and then it turns into Borat, like a matter of time. Until it's Borat.
Just say, this is Borat doing an impression of the thing that you thought you were doing.
Okay. I don't know if that's a likable premise.
So do Denzel. Can you do Denzel right now?
Denzel doesn't have an accent. Okay.
Whatever you think it is.
What's up? This is Denzel. Oh, this is just blackface.
Yeah.
It's very offensive. Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah. Everything in my body was like, just don't do a generic black guy. And I immediately did.
Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's easy.
Is it?
Is it? I'm just saying black guy,
yes.
just to make you.
I am Morgan Freeman, and I will touch you whether you want me to or not.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Black people, we protect our heroes.
Yeah.
You completely just disrespected.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck out.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
Man.
Without exception?
Yeah. No exceptions.
Do you reluctantly defend every black Me Too guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Bill Cosby?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way. Not in front of white people. Like, in front of black people, it's like, it's a different subject.
Okay.
Huh?
he raped.
You can leave.
Yeah.
You can absolutely leave. Don't you talk about Papa Cosby like that.
But if me and Steve left and it was you and like a couple black guys, you'd be like, yeah, he fucking did that shit.
I'm not allowed. I'm not
You're
privy
not
to say.
you have to plead the
there are
fifth.
no other black people in the room to.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of unity.
You don't. White people like no. He did it. He's a rapist. He's a monster. And
I don't even when people.
You do on the low because that kid who shot up the church and got Burger King. They kind of.
Well, the cops themselves that were like. Yeah, you were having a bad day. You were dehydrated or whatever.
They got a Burger King.
That is really odd.
Burger King? Come on.
That's not...
That's an asshole move on the low, right?
What do you think if it was like a misdemeanor, he could have gone to McDonald's or whatever?
No, he shouldn't have gotten any food. What's up? Why did they go get him food?
It is bad. Don't
Is that a confirmed thing or is that a...
No, they did.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, that's...
Yeah, they
Because
Yeah, if you don't think white privilege is real, that is
It's the
it.
podcast before the
sorry.
mic. Fucking book. Patrick, you know better, Patrick. What's up?
Oh, it's a short trip, and I'm going to let you know. I'm going to get a hold of you. I'm going to do some training with you on my next
Let's
visit.
go. Let's
Okay?
go. You out of here?
Wait, which one are you talking to?
You.
Okay, cool.
You leaving or are you staying for the mic?
I'm going to it. I've been running around.
Oh,
I
a
got
better
this
mic. You staying for a better
No,
mic?
no, I
A
got
better mic, Patrick?
More tile visits.
Pussy? At least let it be pussy.
I eat it all the time.
Oh, fuck. All right. Patrick Booker.
Another Irish guy. See,
Another
I don't
Irish
even
guy.
have like the like if someone's like, "Oh, I'm Irish too," I'm like, I don't give a shit. You know. I don't.
So you're not a what do you call it? You don't celebrate your Irishness.
No, not at all. It's
But they
just-
celebrate you. Like if
Yeah.
you, like St.
Oh,
Patrick's
old
Day,
Irish
you're a
people?
mascot, right?
I mean, if you're second, third generation, you don't really give a shit. But like,
Mike coming on.
Jump on for a hot minute. I got Mike
Steven.
Coscarelli coming. So when Mike comes, you jump off.
Yeah.
All right, just keep it warm. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Steven. I was here.
I like how
a
he
week
moseyed
or two
on. He was
ago.
like, "Hey, can I just?"
But yeah, no, it does go deep though. Is that it's like it goes as deep as the Irish though. It's like I think across the country, like they're like the Italians and Irish are like really bonded as far as like history goes too. You know what I mean? And like it's
What do
different
you-
for us
what do you-
like city
What do you
kids.
call non? Is that Europeans or Italians? Europeans?
Yeah.
So non-American white. You know what I mean?
No.
Like Russians and Irish and Scot and Italians.
oh, like just barely, like recently white.
But that's old white though.
No. That was all a thing that came out of
like
of,
America.
like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Like white, there were very few like white people. Like Italians were considered black, Irish were black. Everybody
because
was
they were all
black.
English. Like because the American whites, the so-called American
Exactly.
whites, they broke from the
We're
British,
English and
right?
Dutch.
They broke
Those were-
from them, right?
Exactly.
And they was like, "Oh, we're gonna do our own thing," and then everybody else came and said, "We're definitely not black,
Yeah,
but
then the Irish
we're not white either."
And then it was the biggest. And then it was the Irish versus black people, and then the
Yeah.
Irish kind of used tried like
It's so weird. They're like,
It's a
everything.
whole
the,
weird
the
situation.
draft riots in New York,
exactly.
where it was, because if you were rich, you could get out of the draft during the Civil War. So
You're rich, you can do that.
yeah, but in New York City, it was it was black people and Irish immigrants that were being like unfairly, disproportionately drafted. So they band together. No, they just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. And then the
And they wound
Irish
up fighting
threw-
each other?
Yeah.
The Irish
shit.
like
It's always
threw
divide and
black
conquer.
people under the bus in order to like gain a little clout in America and just be like, look, we're white too, haha. shut
And we
up.
are white now.
And
Like
then-
that's why you're a
and then-
ridiculous
Oh, white now.
person. Yeah, but
we are white now.
Well, you know how like Irish people now they'd be like, well, we were oppressed too. I'm like, yeah, for like 5 years, like we made it.
But also because there's just like because that whole like potato thing too, when like thousands of Irish people were rushing into America when all their potato crop went bad.
Oh, the famine?
Yeah,
Is
the
that
famine.
Okay.
And so like that's just like that's basically just like refugees at that point. You know what I mean? It's like if to think of just like that is what's happening, just like
Yeah.
thousands of refugees like coming in
At the
and they
time.
get like treated badly by like large portions.
Well,
of
was
the
that or
country.
like they have bad food and bad music? That might be part of it too.
That is true.
I can't.
I don't know. I don't know.
But the Irish, and then they made all the Irish the police force like across America. And
How'd that happen?
Tammany Hall. It's just like it was. They just became like a political machine. It's like what the Hasidic Jews are doing now. We were talking
Yeah.
about that. It's just like
Always
they
back
like
to the
stage.
Jews, isn't it,
They
Steve?
like stage like little like
It's the thing they're good
little
at.
like coups on like small local politics, and then it just grows into like larger politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then suddenly like JFK, like the first like Irish president. You know what I mean?
Was
It's
he
like-
Irish?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't know that much.
Like the first thing I learned in Catholic
Really?
school.
He was the first
JFK,
Irish?
first Irish Catholic president.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White guy. It's a white guy.
Yeah. My dad went to JFK's like gravesite when he was a little kid in Catholic school.
Yeah.
And he was a wise ass. So they have a candle on JFK's tomb, and they're all nuns, right? So one of the teachers said, "Does anyone know why they have a candle at JFK's tomb?" And my dad responded, "Because he's afraid of the dark."
Oh, shit.
To which he promptly had his ass kicked by multiple nuns. Yeah, don't fuck with JFK.
They didn't give the answer of it. What's the answer?
I never.
Nobody
he
knew.
didn't learn the answer.
They're like, that's not the answer.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to fuck you up, kid. Like, nuns are violent.
Yeah.
Man. You ever sleep with a nun?
Well, what an oddly specific question.
I don't know.
Did you seriously think
it all goes to sex? It all goes to
being a nun, imagine that. Like, there's.
I've had an ex-nun. A girl who's
really?
Not
wow.
a nun.
Have you told this story before?
No.
Well, tell it now.
No, it's not a real story.
Oh, okay. I was so intrigued.
There's no story. It's just like, I used to be a nun.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was she like? Was she freaky?
No, she's boring.
Damn.
She's all right.
Post nun.
Yeah, post nun.
Yeah,
post nun.
makes sense.
I think, and I was not her first black guy, so it was like,
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
No.
But she was your first ex-nun.
She's my first ex-nun.
Damn.
But I didn't know. She was like,
Did she have a hairy pussy?
She was sexy. She was a sexy. It wasn't even that long. No,
Yeah,
it
Steve,
wasn't.
I don't know why it was
She wasn't a
important to me
'70s
either.
nun. She
No.
was like not the '70s. It's like
Yeah, I guess she could be a young nun.
yeah.
It sounds awesome. Honestly, the whole concept of being a nun sounds like pretty awesome as far as it goes. Like back in the day, like that must have just been like a prime option as far as it goes. Like get married, get sold, or whatever, or you can just like go to the
Become a nun.
mountains and like be a nun. It's
Yeah.
like,
Weren't nuns in
generally, you don't
poverty,
have to
though?
worry that much. Like there's people that protect you in case. You know what I mean?
They were like
Okay.
impoverished, aren't they? Though, or back in the day, like a nun
You're
was
supposed
not-
to be, but a lot of them, they have parents.
Okay, now we're getting to a point.
Yeah, I
Trust
don't know.
fund.
I don't know.
This whole podcast is us
No.
not knowing things, just
Things
wondering
about-
out loud.
Things we don't know
easily
and just
Googleable
assume.
Easily Googleable.
Easy Google. That's
That's
good.
the name of the
Should write that down. Can you write that down for me? The name of this episode is easily Googleable.
Yeah.
If you can say that.
Googleable.
What are you struggling with? What's going on in your life?
Me? I need to get laid, dude.
How long has it been?
It's been I think it was snowing, February.
Wow, I didn't think it was snowing.
Yeah,
It was the winter of '69.
Yeah. Well, we were talking off mic. Where you're like, dude, just download Bumble, and I like that.
I didn't want
that
to.
was your response.
Pop up. Oh, actually, just grab a chair and move over.
Tag me out.
Grab a chair. Good. Have a seat. You over it? You fucking.
Oh, Steve, we
Mike,
liked having you.
Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody!
weird.
Are you live streaming?
Yeah, live streaming.
Comedian, producer Mike Ascarelli. How are you, everybody?
How are you?
I'm good, man.
It's
What's
just
going on with you?
Barack Obama. He's the only one that watches.
Just
That
Barack
matters.
Obama?
Yeah, just Barack Obama.
Mr. President, am I?
And is Bobby Sheehan?
Hey, Bobby, what's up? How are you doing, man? Good.
man.
I'm sorry that I'm late.
You smell real Italian.
I do, yeah. I showered and I'm wearing
Wafty of
The
Italian.
thing is, when you're Italian and you wear a black shirt, the smell just comes
It just-
out of it. It's the summertime. We just smell like this now.
it's like it's like guitar strings.
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah. It's either this or garlic. There's only two smells.
No, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It works for you. What's going on? How's your day?
My day, it's been fine, man. I was trying to get here on time.
No, you're good.
Unfortunately,
I like when white guys are late.
yeah.
Yeah.
I try to not do it because it gives our people a bad name. But
That's how you lose your white card.
yeah, pretty much. I feel like I'm half a black guy anyway. I've got no
You're
income.
Italian.
I got no
You're
job.
Italian. You're Italian.
I am, yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I was talking about it, Irish Italian. We just became white,
Dude, I've had this conversation with like other Italians before. Where I was like, I'm Sicilian too, so I'm like literally Sicilian's like 90
like the black
miles
people of
away
Italy.
from Africa, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was like,
that's big time black.
yeah,
black.
I was like, yeah, we probably like my dad has like kinky hair and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe not like 2 generations back, but like a couple generations before that, we probably have black
Absolutely.
skin.
Absolutely.
Like there's definitely a black person in my family. I don't know how far back it goes.
you gotta go.
He's
You'll
gotta
find
be.
it.
Yeah, I
Just sit in the
guarantee.
corner.
North African or something. Or either North African or Arabic.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
That's
But
right.
especially because we're so swarthy looking, like we got these fucking giant eyebrows, and we've got like it's definitely.
He's fucking out.
just get more and more offensive. as you go.
So close. In the fucking nose. Where did I get his nose from?
Yeah, but I think for sure.
Mike
that
does
there's, like-
90% crowd work, by the way.
Usually, yeah. I'm always looking for. It's funny because I did a show in Jersey where it was like mostly an Italian crowd. And there's one black guy in the front, and I was like hosting, and I was doing crowd work with this guy. And I said something about him being like, hey, like a bunch of Italians in the room tonight, good. And I see one Sicilian there, and I pointed to the guy, and got a big laugh. And then after that, it just
Downhill went
Yeah,
down.
like, shit, man. Dude, anytime I've done
Went
that,
hot, yeah.
anytime I've done that on a show where I was like performing to a black audience, I'll always go too far by accident. Because I always like I've done black rooms, and I'm always like oh yeah, you got to go at black audiences, and you've got to.
You're not able to shovel out,
dude. I just I guess I just say something like it's weird. I think I say something that like doesn't cross the line, but it gets to a point where it's like it's probably a little too far, but not like way too far, and they're like processing like. Should I be mad at him for that? You know?
Now they're just thinking about it. But like, did we kill this motherfucker?
Right, yeah. They're like, should we be mad or should we like whatever? And then it's like the next couple of jokes like don't do well.
So,
you're just like, I did a boat once, and
oh no, hell, dude,
no boat. It was this boat cruise around the Hudson River, and it was. There was a radio station that I used to work at a cluster of radio stations. So there's 4 radio stations. One of them was an urban station, which was like R&B and like whatever.
Which one?
1039.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1039 had
Praise. Is that the Praise station?
No. That's Radio 1039. It's like a newer station, but it's like I mean. You know how these urban stations are. It might as well be a Praise station.
Shit. Nah, these urban stations. It just gets so.
But slowly forgetting that you're black. It's like, we know each other.
So I'm comfortable with
everybody. I hate it.
They know that this is like 3 years ago probably. They know that I'm like a comedian. They're like, why don't you come on and do this show? Steve Wilson is headlining it. Okay. Steve Wilson is the guy that opens for D.L. Hughley and stuff. But this is like his birthday show, and Damian Lemon is on it, who does Comedy Knockout now. And this guy Roberto Vanderpool, have you ever heard of him? No. He's like an urban room circuit guy. He's a fucking killer. Yeah. He's really funny. Yeah. And Jamie Roberts was hosting it.
Oh, shit.
And I got booked on this thing. They were just like, why don't you come in and just do 10 minutes? Whatever, it's not a big deal. And dude, it was probably like 75 to 80 black people that were like 40 to 50. Yeah, that was the whole audience pretty much. Shit. And I was, dude,
that's who does.
Yeah, I was literally like, so if I'm standing on like the stage of the boat. I'm on the stage, and then there's an audience of people. There's like layers. So there's like an upper deck, then there's like a middle deck, and then there's like people on the like at tables eating dinner and stuff like that. Shit. So that's what I'm looking at, and then there's a row of people sitting behind me. Oh. So now I've got people behind me, and I've got like probably like 12, 15 people behind me, and then these layers of people, and they fucking, dude, they like. People were dancing on the dance floor before this.
Why are you talking? I'm
saying like before like we got on, they were like it was like cocktail hour, so people were like drinking and like there's a DJ and they're dancing, they're having like a great time. People are like twirling, having fun, and then the shows they're just like making an announcement. They're like, all right, everybody, back to your seats. We're gonna start the comedy show now. So it's like everybody was having fun. Now that got disrupted, so we can do this comedy show, and then. Jamie goes up and starts hosting, does like a good job, and then I'm first. Okay. And I go up there. I said something about
what did you do?
Dude, I just said
this isn't going to end with it. I had a great time.
Greatest set I ever had.
I had the people behind me, so I made some joke about like watching my wallet. Oh. I can't remember exactly what the joke was, but I was like, oh, I got guys from the Bronx behind me. I guess I better like hang on to my wallet. And I got like very tepid, like
nervous. That's what we expected.
Yeah, they kind of like wanted to give me the benefit of the doubt, but like they didn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I just fucking ate it. And then the worst part about bombing on a boat is that you have to stay on the boat.
You
contemplate just diving off.
I literally.
If I'm not destroying like everything, I'm not getting on a boat. I'm not getting on a boat.
Horrible. It was literally. It was like another 2 hours. This thing was just like, it was literally just circling the East River. Yeah. But it was just, I just went and found a table in like the above deck and just sat
They
by
should
myself.
have one lifeboat with like a microphone and a bomb on it.
There should be a bomb room. Like, if you don't do well, there should be a room that you can go in and just disappear for the rest of the ride.
That's what I wanted to do, man. Because you're just like, you don't want anybody, like, if you do poorly, you don't want
nobody
anybody
wants to talk to you.
You're not going to be on the floor like partying, like yeah. Like, you just fucking ruined. I don't say ruined everybody's night because the other comics were good, but like it just felt terrible, man. But you have to stay there. There's literally nowhere you can go. You're just stuck.
And most people don't. I think like your average audience member is going to be like, oh, he had a bad set. They think objectively you're
they think you suck.
Yeah, they just think like, who the fuck is this loser?
Comedians think, hey, that was a bad set. Oh, let's go chop it up in the corner.
Yeah.
regular people like, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Fuck him. I don't even.
Yeah.
No eye contact.
Well, and then especially for like a crowd like that, it's like Steve Wilson was like nice about it. And he was like, man, like, what were you even doing on this show? He didn't say it like that, but he meant like you were fucked. Like you had no chance, you know. Like in a playful way, but he said something when he got on stage. He's like, "What is this white boy doing here?"
Were you the only white guy on the show?
Yeah, man.
So you had to address it in a funny way.
I didn't.
Don't you think? You thought it was good. Sometimes you think it's like, "Oh, this is going to be funny," and then nothing happens, and it's like, "Damn, that didn't go off." Huh?
I didn't handle it well at all. And but it's like at the end of the day, what was I doing on that show? I think that like I got booked on it as you're coming. Like, why don't you come do
because you
charity?
Yeah,
because I worked at the station, so I think they were just like, why don't you come and do a couple minutes? And like, I don't think they were ever expecting me to be like, okay. Yeah, and then I did, and then I don't necessarily regret it because I got
it's a bit now. So
it's a bit, it's experience, it's a story, but like
no boats, man. No boats. We don't do boats. It's in my contract. No boats.
From now on, the boat's I need money up front.
Yeah,
and it's gotta
the
be
boats don't leave the harbor. I need to be able to get out of there as fast as possible.
It's brutal. Oh my god!
I don't go anywhere I can't get out of.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't imagine doing like 6 weeks on a boat.
Oh,
I know it pays.
But no, I need to be able to leave.
Yeah, man. You don't want to be just trapped on a boat with people for a week who have just been watching you bomb.
You guys ever bomb hosting?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very awful.
And you got to keep going up, and it's like I'm never going to win them back.
I had a bar show where I was like really eating as a host, and I thought that it was the crowd, right? And then I really did. And then I thought, and then I watched people do well, and then they literally got quiet as I like walked back to the stage. They're like, "Oh, this guy again? But we were just starting to have fun. Why is he back?"
I was in Jersey doing a show and was hosting, and it was the worst hosting job, worst set I've probably ever had in my life. I was just nervous because I was working with a headliner that I never worked with before, and the guy, like 5 minutes before I was going on stage, told me not to do crowd work as the host.
Fuck?
He's like, "Man, I do a lot of crowd work. Don't do any crowd work." I was like, "What?"
As soon as you give me rules, I break them.
Yeah,
like if you tell me don't do something, that's the first thing I'm doing.
It was just,
it
Isn't that odd to host and not crowd work? I've never seen that done.
That's your job. That's your job to bring the audience together as a host.
You're supposed to kind of unite the crowd.
Yeah, if there was a subject he didn't want you to talk about, he was like, "Hey, don't talk about Trump because I do a lot of my stuff." I was like, "Cool, I won't say Trump."
But even that, it's still just like what I learned from this was just whatever they say, fuck them, because they're not paying. Like, unless they are paying you. But like I'm working for the club, so I'm not. But the headliner, I didn't know the difference at the time, and the headliner was just like, "Yeah, don't do this because like I do this, whatever." I was like, "All right, fine." So I went up there and I said like 5 words. I was like, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the Comedy Cove. You know, I hope you're having a great night. How many of you guys been to a comedy show before?" A couple people clap. And then I was like, "Well, I'm done with crowd work." So then I immediately start going into my act, and I just start fucking eating it. And I remember, like, dude, I forgot the guest spot's name. I had to like pull out a piece of paper and like look at it. I was sweating, and then I got off stage. I'm walking off, and I walked past the first table closest to the stage. I walk past the dude, and he goes to his wife. He goes, "That guy was terrible." I heard it. And then, not only do I have to like stay there, do the rest of the show, they want me to do another 5 minutes in between the middle and the headliner of bombing again. Just terrible, just all overall bad night. So I'm there the whole night. I got to stay, and I can't just like leave.
Please go sit down. Go sit down. I'll talk to you in a minute. I was like, "Who is this T.J. Miller looking?" No, relax. Good. I'm sorry.
No. I just was bombing the whole time, and then like I had to come back and do it again the next night and host again.
No. Fuck.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You did fine the second night though.
I did great the second night, but like because the manager fucking came over and told me like, "Dude, like whatever happened last night with you and the headliner, just don't listen to the headliner. Do what you got to do because like I'm paying you, and I need you to be a good host.
Don't do crowd work because I do crowd work.
Yeah,
is his crowd work so horribly generic that he's afraid?
Dude was fucking terrible. Yeah, he was just like I don't want to say he was terrible. He was just like
Just say his first and last name real quick.
Yeah, shout him out. Big shout out to what's his name?
It will never affect me. it was just like it was one of those things I was watching, and I was like, I can't believe I let this guy tell me not to do what I do for the sake of him saving face.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a lesson learned for sure.
The show that I did where I bombed, I was trying to do crowd work, and it's very new and like too new to be hosting.
Your crowd work is awkward. Right?
No, it's not. I'm very good. Everybody, please follow me, Bobbi Sheen, LOL. Don't listen to Jimmy.
Bobbi
people.
Sheen.
That is my Twitter handle, by the way. Bobbi Sheen, LOL, and I cannot change it.
Good.
No, it's cringy, is what it is.
Really?
But I appreciate your optimism.
Why can't you change it?
I mean, I can, but
Just name recognition.
I think so. Yeah,
I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, I'm being ironic.
Bless you.
There's not a lot of Bobby Sheehans out there.
No, there's me and the bass player from Blues Traveler who died from heroin. So I think
You're good.
I
I think you're good. I think you're golden.
Yeah.
But I was hosting, and there was I was like, hey, what's your name? Blah blah. Asking where you're from. I'm like, hey, do you have a girlfriend? And the guy was clearly gay. That was my joke. It's very clever, right?
What the audience do?
Everybody laughed, and he said no. And in his eyes, I could tell that either he's not out or he would not like to talk about it. And that was my crowd work. Just awkwardly pointing out that someone that is in the closet might be gay. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure the night was fun. So don't feel bad for your awkward wallet joke. I think
dude. I mean, like, listen. This is just one of many thousands of horrible.
He was so gay, though. I was almost upset. I'm like, we're going to do this?
You're not supposed to point that out with that one thing. Your job is to bring him on your side.
Dude, I've done so many mics where people are like, well, we have to talk about how weird you look. Yeah. Like, that's their crowd work. That's fine.
I shit on guys who bring their girlfriends to the mic. I do that a lot.
Oh, I would never do that.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah? To the mic? No?
Yeah, why not? I mean, like, it's...
Because what happens is they break up and she does comedy.
No.
More than enough. I've slept with one.
I would get you...
What's her name?
Never mind.
I would guess that, like I can tell you right now, I don't think my girlfriend's ever come with me to a mic. She's definitely come to shows, though. Shows that I've not done well on.
Yeah.
But
she's your girlfriend now. So
but that's my point.
She knows.
It's like if you bring a girl, like I can tell you that she is not bringing a girl to an open mic is almost worse for you than it is for the mic because it's like
going to the gym on your first date. It's like,
well, dude, you just don't want your girlfriend to see how horrible all of this is.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you don't want your girlfriend to be like, I'm really dating a fucking loser. You know?
Also, if you have a girlfriend, why are you doing open mics? Just enjoy your...
Yeah, just have fun and just enjoy your life. Yeah, I often contemplate this.
No, they come a lot.
It's Thursday night. We could grill a nice piece of fish and hang out.
New comics are like, I'm going to take this girl I just met. She's going to go and she's going to see how funny I am. And
that's never a good move.
No.
The only time that's like a great move is when you are like in at a place that's kind of like even remotely... got a crowd, like a crowd of actual people, not like comedians watching whatever.
And you know you're confident with your stuff.
Yeah, well, and you know that you're gonna fucking kill. Like going to an open mic with a girl to impress her is not going to impress her. That's like
it's going to ruin the relationship.
It's going to make you look sad and make you look fucking.
She's like, why am I with this guy,
dude? Literally, unless you've got real shit going on and like credits and stuff like that, and it seems like you're just kind of like, just pop it in to just like try something or like say, like show face, say what's up, like you're gonna look like a loser. You just literally there's nothing you can do, dude. I mean, like going to open mics is the saddest thing. Everybody is very sad. Nobody is happy in any way.
No.
The people are
except for my mic.
My
mics are ridiculous. It's out of control.
Super fun?
Yeah, super fun.
It's an advertisement for Jimmy
People's mic. I brought what I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Is you are a podcast consultant. Or is that? Can I give you that title?
You can say podcast consultant.
You're good at this shit.
I'm good at podcasts. I think so. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah. So I want you to, like, a lot of these guys are thinking about doing podcasts, and it's like, this isn't a big deal. This is, just something I said, hey, I had the space, let me try to do this, and I did a bunch of episodes. And I just wanted to and give yourself a chance to to advertise your skills, or whatever.
Yeah.
But, what advice would you give to a new
podcaster? I would. That's actually a good question. I didn't really consider that. Honestly, man, it's just like anything else. Podcasting, comedy, writing, cooking, exercise, whatever you're doing. What?
Making love?
Making love. Yeah, making love.
Making love.
Whatever it is, practice makes perfect. I know it sounds like corny, but I mean, I've been in radio for 8 years. I've been podcasting for myself and producing other people's shows for about half of that time. Some of it is luck. Sometimes you just get lucky with some of the people that you work with, and they carry you as a producer, which I've definitely had. I worked with my first podcast producing gig was for Ben Kissel, who, if you're a podcast fan, is one of the hosts of the Last Podcast on the Left, which is one of the biggest podcasts in the world right now. And Ben and I did a show for All Things Comedy. At the time, it was kind of like a side project he was doing. Burr and Madrigal went to him and were just like, "Hey, like you've got a podcast audience. Why don't you do a show?" So he knew that I had radio skills. We just we worked together for about 2 years on his show. And I mean, truthfully, I know that show was carried by Ben. It's his name on it. His audience was paying attention to it. I really had nothing to do with it other than being around him, seeing how he interviews people, and he is a good interviewer. Putting my hands on the production of it, which was honestly kind of minimal, but the fact that somebody that's good and has an audience can validate your work and be like, this is good. I like the work that you do, kind of propels you to the next level, and now you can kind of take more chances, and you need it to be reinforced. Somebody's got it. Somebody with talent has to look at your stuff and say all right, you're doing a good job, because that makes you do a better job, and you grow and grow and grow. But you're going to fail a lot too. I've done podcasts that, either had to change for whatever reason. When Social Villains was the one that I worked on for 3 years with Gene Getman, who's a very funny comedian.
He's okay. He's okay.
But me and Gene, I started that show by myself, where it would be me. I'd bring on 2 comics because I was just trying things out. I kind of wanted it to be like a tough crowd with Colin Quinn. And it was called One Classy Podcast. And then Gene had come on. Gene kind of pitched me and was like, hey, why don't we do this thing together? I used to do a podcast. I think we'd be a good team, whatever. And then it became our working relationship, just the chemistry was there. It worked. We kind of caught lightning in a bottle. And, we grew it, not to a crazy amount, but we learned how to do podcasting because we were also working in talk radio at the time. Yeah, and we were just trying stuff. And that's the thing, the first time you do a podcast, it's going to suck. Yeah. And the second time you're going to do a podcast, it's going to suck. Yeah. But if you do it for 3 years, at the end of 3 years, you might be kind of good at it.
Absolutely.
And, you
got to grow. The more you do it with anything, it grows.
But it also comes down to, it's not just practice makes perfect, but it's perfect practice makes perfect. And you want to, it's just like anything else, man. The more you throw yourself into something, hopefully the better you'll get. The more people that you'll talk to, they'll kind of push you to get better, and you've got to immerse yourself in it, and you've got to do it. You've got to do one every week, and don't be lazy. And if you want to build an audience of people, you've got to put something out every single week. You can't just miss a week because somebody was out of town or blah, blah, blah. There's no excuse. You've got to, commit yourself to doing this, especially if you want to do it at a high level. You've just got to, and you've got to put the money in to invest in yourself, Get equipment that, doesn't suck. Quality of your sound is so important. So learn how to fix your sound. Learn about microphones. Learn about sound production here and there. Not anything crazy. You don't have to be Dr. Dre, but it helps. It all helps. And growing an audience, one of the biggest keys is, does your shit sound professional? Because if it doesn't, people might just be like, the fuck is this shit? Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So that's a huge factor. But just do it. That's the most important thing.
Get started.
Yeah.
Get started. I used to be in radio too, and I didn't transition. I transitioned from radio to personal training to comedy.
Yeah.
But and then I just started producing shows, whatever, did shows, and then I got this room, and then there was a space, and I said I wanted to do a podcast. I had no idea Like same with comedy. I thought you had to be on a certain level to do a podcast, and then I forgot who I was listening to. They were like, "Yeah, just pull out your phone and start recording, and then it grows."
Ideally, I mean, the thing is,
and
like,
I'm still doing that. I got this bullshit phone, but the sound is decent, huh?
Sorry, it just
said language.
Yeah.
Is that what you?
We're having a nice conversation.
Thank you for joining us, Bob.
Language, Dad.
I am the best dressed on stage.
For any particular, I meant to ask about that. Is there any reason?
I just came from a job interview.
Yeah, that he didn't get.
I kind of bombed the interview.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, talking about bombing.
I'm proud of you.
You know, it's weird. I don't know if
you bomb a lot, though. Good job.
This is this Russian guy, like this old Russian guy. So I don't know if he didn't like me or he's just the cultural sadness. Yeah. I don't know which one it is.
It's hard to tell with Russians.
Yeah. How fast can you tell that you don't want a job?
Well, this one it looks like they forgot about me.
Good job.
Yeah,
as they should.
Yeah. The girl at the front desk said I was cute. Yeah.
Did you get her number?
No, I think cute, like little brother cute, but I'll take it. That just made Mike really. I am so not Mike Cascarelli. Talking to 3 very different guys right now.
I was like, well,
it's true.
Yeah, I immediately get the number. Like, I'm not getting this job, but I got to leave with something. I would have left with the number.
Yeah?
I'd be like, yeah.
I don't. Well, I don't know.
Do that. Yeah, you should try to take something.
I'm taking a pen. I'm taking something.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she said I was,
you can't just take a full on L.
Yeah,
or something like that.
No,
you think so?
No.
Yeah, man.
You know, I was just happy that I have the rest of the day off. Is that how bad the
you're working now, aren't you?
That is true. Yes.
I forgot.
Podcasting. No, yes, that's a huge factor. I think that's a very. You had said something about just pull out your phone, record, or you need to be on a certain level. You don't. Realistically, it's all about how you present yourself, and I think it's a very freeing thing to realize that you are really on a level with anybody. The one difference is that you are in New York City, which is good.
Yeah.
So you're in a central location to get, people that might make a difference and actually help you grow an audience, guests, But it's just all about, presenting yourself. You have the tools to turn your thing into something bigger with the right amount of work and the smart type of work that, proper marketing, proper whatever. And it's more than just doing this. It's actually marketing your thing. It's like getting on social media. It's trying to find a voice as a podcaster and figure out exactly what you're doing and whatever. That's a huge factor and very important.
Like for the first, this is my first podcast. Like for what I want to do is just make as many mistakes as possible, just to learn. And just keep doing it. And I've learned a lot. I've learned, it doesn't make a lot of money. I make like $10 a month.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get to a point where I made some money.
Yeah.
So I knew how to do it.
Yeah, that's huge, man. But the other thing too with podcasting is if your numbers are good enough, people will come and find you.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing that I've learned from like producing other people's stuff. That like I'm working with Corinne Fisher on all her podcasts now.
Yeah.
She does Guys We Fucked, and she has a podcast called Two Us Lonely Girls now with Rosebud Baker. It's a podcast about Justin Bieber. But basically, when we launched that thing, we had people just emailing us about trying to monetize the show before it was even out, because Corinne's got name recognition.
Absolutely.
And people were anticipating the thing coming out. So if you're working with somebody that has name recognition, they've got a history of actually being able to sell ad space on a podcast, because it is big money if you've got the audience. They will just come find you, and that's all it came down to. It was just after the first week, people were just Audio Boom was hitting us up, Cast Plus, these places were literally just emailing us, being like, we'd love to hop on a call with you.
Real money.
Dude, they'll find you. That's the thing. It's people are just how do I monetize this? How do I whatever? You can go out and hustle and try to cut a deal with a bar or something and be like, go to Otto's Shrunken Head, and you can definitely do that. There's no rules, but the point is that if you can make your thing hot, the market knows. The market's they're always looking to put money on shit if there's money to be made.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh shit. Well, thank you. Well, got questions?
Yeah. No, I don't really. Do you miss radio? Do you think podcasting has replaced radio?
I think podcasting is. I don't think that it'll ever completely replace radio. The one advantage that radio has is that radio is. It's sad that it's come down to this as like a last breath for radio, but at the end of the day, if you're in your car and you flip on 10-10 winds in New York, you can get traffic and weather in every 8 minutes, 7 minutes. I think it's every 7 minutes you get traffic and weather. Yeah. So if you're driving into the city, that's probably an advantage
which is replaced by smartphones anyway.
Could be right. Yeah, if you're using Waze or Google Maps, that's possible. But that's the argument that I always hear from older guys that are in radio, that they're just like, yeah, it'll never get replaced because if you need the breaking news, if there's an emergency, and let's say Wi-Fi is down or but I mean it's all bullshit, man. It's like having worked in radio for as long as I did, and also being in the podcast space at the same time. The thing that I've realized is that radio and podcasts, radio companies that try to do podcasting, they're fighting with themselves. They're conflicting interests because if you're a sales manager or a sales team in radio, if you're producing original podcasts and you're trying to use your sales force to sell those to people, radio is the brass ring for those people. So if they're pitching podcasts as the next thing, that means that their brass ring is losing value. And they don't really want to do that. Whether the podcast is doing well or not, the problem is that you've got to sell a radio station. You've got to get ads on to WABC or to all of the. And if you're a salesperson there, you can't take away from that because that's what you're eating. That's how that's bringing you your income by selling these radio ads. But the ratings keep going down for all of these. The market keeps losing listeners. Every single book, every time a new book comes out, there's less of a market share for people, which means that there's less money in the field, pretty much. There's less money coming in, less people are buying advertising. I don't know that they're all going to podcasts, but they're certainly going away from radio.
It's just shared.
Yeah, so there's an element of the radio being live that's really cool, that has always been cool. And anything can happen and mistakes happen in real time and you hear them and everything, and that I think is kind of like a lost art that a lot of people aren't going to know how to do live radio that, really actual tight good live radio. But having done both, I mean, the freedom of podcasting is just, I feel like it's a fair trade-off. Yeah, man, the fact that you can really do it anywhere, wherever you want, and have the freedom to say whatever you want. There's no FCC restrictions. It's hard to say that it's better, but
it's just another avenue.
It's just another avenue, and I just don't see how it doesn't. I just don't see how radio. You have to listen to it in real time. You can't listen to it on demand, and if you are listening to it on demand, it's a podcast. So it's I just don't see how podcasts don't replace radio.
Some people like the aspect of it being live, though.
Yeah, they do, but at the end of the day, it's like you can stream it now through phones and everything. I still listen to Francesa all the time. I love him. I think sports talk is kind of whatever, but I think he's just good at it because he's such a bold personality and he shouts down callers. And in New York, that's a very familiar thing to hear. But honestly, man, the allure of listening live, I think, is mostly. News develops in real time, so if you're broadcasting live, you can react to things as they're happening, which was always an experience. I produced a lot of live news events in radio. When the Paris attack happened, it was fucking all hands on deck. Everybody's in the newsroom trying to get information on everything, and it's an exciting thing to kind of put together as somebody working on the project. And when it's happening in real time, it feels like it's super important to actually produce that stuff and get it out there on the radio. because people are. But I don't know that people their first instinct is to flip to the radio. No. I don't know if it's
only
been
an
like
emergency
that.
now. It's a fallback.
Yeah, right. Honestly, it's like if I want information, I just hit my phone right away.
And now there's so many things out there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. There's so much I want to talk about. We got to get this mic started.
Yeah.
Where can they find you online?
Twitter, Bobby Sheen, LOL. Instagram, same.
Website?
No.
I'll have you back in a month. Get a fucking website. Get a fucking website.
Back to you, Jimmy.
Where can they find you?
I'm at Mike Coscarelli on
Do
Twitter.
you take questions when people got to ask you about podcasts and all that? Do you want people coming to you? Or no?
Not really, to be honest. I gotta be real.
Do you want to be known as that guy? As
I think at this point I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is like I having done so many of these, it's hard to just consult everybody on everything.
like the reason why I did this is just to motivate comics.
Yeah, to do something. Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
like this is my sword against YouTubers who think they're comedians. To comics who don't do social media. So this is
it's the only thing that matters at this
absolutely
point. It's
in the business. So I try to motivate.
Mike, would you like to build me a website?
I don't know how to do that.
Nor do I.
Go to Weebly and do it yourself. Do everything yourself, and then just start it, and then people will help you do it. No. Where can they find you?
At Mike Coscarelli on Twitter and Instagram. I also have a website, MikeCoscarelli.com. You can go check that out.
Cool. And what podcast? What's your number one podcast right now? What are you working on?
I'm music editor or music director and editor of the Guys We Fuck podcast.
Cool.
I'm working on Two Less Lonely Girls as a producer, which is Corinne and Rosebud's podcast. And I've got one coming out with Justin Perez called Shit My Girlfriend Makes Me Watch, which is just about, it's the two of us talking about Bravo shows, because both of our girlfriends make us watch these horrible reality shows. So look for that in the next month, probably.
Good shit. Well, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
Always, yes, sir. Give it up for him one more time. Thank you, Bobby. It's another episode of The People's Mic. Of course, you can find it wherever podcasts are heard. JimmyPeoples.com, YouTube. We're going to use that. It didn't drop today, so we're happy about that. And Alexa, you can find this episode. This is 135. Just go to Alexa and say, hey, Alexa, play the new... You like that?
Yeah.
Play the New People's Mic podcast, and it'll play. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.